It's basically Pygmalion or My Fair Lady in high school. It's a transformation of both the young girl into a more acceptable human being. I didn't want to make her just ugly into pretty, because I have a daughter and I didn't think that was a great message to be going. But she is an outsider who's been so used to shutting people out of her life that nothing comes across. And she learns in her transformation, she puts on the attire that the rich girls have, but she's still not comfortable in her own skin until she does that. But by coming up with Zach and learning that it's okay to be 17 and it's okay to experience those things in your life now, she allows her art to become more accessible and lets people in, and her emotions therefore can come out. And his transformation, unlike Pygmalion or Fair Lady, Higgins doesn't really go through much of a transformation, but Zach does. And he is understanding that life is just about to begin for him, that it doesn't begin and end with high school. And he's so worried about making the wrong decision that he makes no decision. And that he learns through Lainey that it's okay, that life gives you second chances, that you don't have to be terrified, you just have to do something. I didn't want the comedy to overpower the romanticism of the film, because I felt they should go hand in hand. As the best high school movies that I've liked, I've seen the early John Hughes movies and that, they managed to marry the comedy and the secondary stories with great heart. And in a lot of the modern teen comedies that I've seen, that's gotten lost. What was important was creating a real voice for the teens, as opposed to something that really resonates whether you're 14 or 40 or 80. You know, because we all go through those same fears, and you identify every one of those archetypes wherever you are in the country at whatever age, too. When we found Rachel and we tested a lot of girls, we knew that we had someone who had the endearing qualities that you needed, who could be absolutely stunningly beautiful at the end of the movie, and it wasn't just Clark Kent at the beginning with glasses and she's unattractive, and you wanted to follow her journey. It then became doubly important of who Zach was going to be, and again we went through every young guy in Hollywood, I think. And Freddie read the script, he wanted to work with Rachel, he called me, we had a long talk on the phone, and he said, I'm in, and at that point everyone else started falling in place, because you had to balance off your two main characters. It's his honesty as a human being and as an actor, I think, that let the audience in and let you really care about him, no matter what he's doing throughout. He's quite remarkable. I think audiences he'll be quite a revelation to them in how good an actor he actually is.
People used to say, well, guys just, punch each other in the arm and stuff, but girls just, talk about each other in the bathroom until you want to kill yourself. So I think this is a nice little role reversal of that age-old stereotype that it's only women who are catty and vindictive. But I started reading it, and it was just so funny. Like, very few things can make you laugh, like, out loud. There's very few, like, TV shows or something where you laugh, like, out loud by yourself. And this script, I was just, like, laughing my head off in the middle of the night, all alone. It's hard not to start acting like a caricature of Lainey. You know, I mean, when people ask who she is, it's hard for me not to like describe in like a really general sense. I say I'm like 2 parts Daria, 2 parts Lisa Simpson, uh, eyebrows like Tom Snyder with glasses like Lisa Loeb, you know, and just like put them all in a blender and just hit go. But it's hard for us not to turn into these, you know, characters. So I think Lee really helped us out when he separated them all so well from each other. You know, even in the group of Taylor's flunkies, they're all like separate within themselves and they have their whole other story going on. It's really cool. The great thing about this movie, and everyone has said this, is that it was funny on paper and it's even funnier on film. And everyone just fleshes out their character like perfectly and adds some more too.
But I think the comedy really comes from like realistic situations and like real places and just stuff that happens in your normal life that just happens to be funny. And Lee, the writer, he was able to capture that in such a way that it's situations that happen to everybody. And it's like when you go to ask somebody out and you just get shut down. I mean, everybody has dealt with that, and it's hysterical. It is a coming-of-age story, and it is Zach trying to deal with the fact that he has no idea what he wants to do with his life. And when I was 18, I felt the exact same way. I didn't know that I was going to be an actor. I had no idea. I swear to God, I had no idea. And, you know, when it happened so fast that the next thing I knew, I was in California and I was suddenly an actor. You know what I mean? And Zach goes through those same things. He has no idea what he wants to be, and that terrifies him. It terrifies him, and it shouldn't. And Rachel Lee Cook is the lead of our film. She is all that. And she's all that. She brings so much honesty and passion to a character that requires that. And if you have anybody else doing that role, it's not the same. And she just brings such innocence and honesty to this character that all you have to do is put the camera on her and roll. And you see it in her eyes. Every line she says is so true. That's how good this script is. Like, it brought people of like such high caliber to the film, and it's like my little sister's Anna Paquin, and she does this. I mean, she does like a better American accent than I do.
One of the reasons I really liked the script is because it did sound so real and natural and like so many people actually do talk that are about my age, which was, it didn't sort of talk down to any of the characters because they were young. It felt very real. There's so many different personalities and different characters that are so like real people that I think there's a really wide range of people that would be able to come see this film. I mean, I think everyone would find somebody in that film that they could think, oh my God, that was me when I was in high school. Like, you know, that's so, or I knew people that were just like that and would be able to identify with it in some way. I think that you probably have, at least in my experience, the same types of people everywhere. I mean, you have the range of, like, you have the same kind of little groupings of people at school and the same range of people wherever you go. So I think it is kind of universal.
I think the reason the movie's so funny is for two reasons. I think the script is outstanding. Fleming wrote a great script. When I read it, I actually would pass it forward on the plane for my sister to read because it's that funny. And I think the other thing is that Rob Iskov is a great director. It's very few times that you'll follow a director like into a brick wall, a comedy wall, and we followed him implicitly the entire time. He leads without stress, and he's open to suggestions. It's his first feature, and so he's got a lot. He's got a lot to gain and nothing to lose. So it brings with him a real hunger to make the best possible movie. As far as I'm concerned, if I get a chance to work with Freddie Prinze Jr. every time, I'll accept the offer. Because I think there's so much of this business about hype and about, you know, what kind of car you drive, and he's just really grounded and has a great spirit. He wants to work. He wants to make the best possible movie he can. Jodie plays Jodie actually has to kiss me a lot in the movie. So, you know, I was cast before she was, so I was always really curious as who was going to be the go-to girl. Jodie's great. You know, she's got this spirit about her that she's, you know, for such a beautiful woman, she has a gift at comedy, and she's completely committed to the joke, which is great, because a lot of times prettier people don't have to be funny. And she's got a great sense of humor. There's so many things that were written that were just really funny. It was impossible to pass up the part. Brock's a cheeseball. He's egotistical. He thinks he's all that. He's all those things that you're going to kind of dive into that, you know, you're never supposed to be in real life. So it's a blast to play. You know, he's a caricature. He's out there. He's, you know, bigger than life. And, you know, and when I look at scripts and I look at parts to do, you kind of, you know, there's certain things that are more attractive because you get to put a lot of energy into. And so, you know, I got to put a lot of energy into them. It was great playing them.
I know these characters so well. This is every girl I disliked in high school. Every one of them that I couldn't stand. This is the epitome. Taylor Vaughn, that's her. So it was very easy. I guess the whole world revolves around her. She's just mean. She's just, everything is about Taylor, and she's just, everything is just perfect, you know, and at first you kind of think that maybe she's just oblivious and she doesn't realize, and she's just so self-centered, but then you just find out that not only does she just think that the whole world revolves around her, she actually does have this mean side to her, and she just will get whatever she wants at any cost. It happens in any situation. You'll have a million different types of people. There's always going to be a Taylor. Always, 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 no matter what. There's always going to be some heartless captain of the cheerleaders that's just going to ruin everyone's life as best she can.
Dean is a wannabe. Dean wants to be Zach. That's exactly what he wants to be, and he can't be because he's not. You know, so he tries to do everything he can to be so cool and to be a little jock and all that stuff, but it doesn't always fit right. So he ends up doing stupid things and saying stupid things, and I have to call him on it. I have to let him know. I feel he kind of lets the actors bring what they want to bring, and then after they bring it, then he'll come and tell you what he feels about it. And I kind of like the way he did that. He didn't direct you too much, like say you got to do it this way, this way, this way, this way. He said, you given the scene, then you came with what you brought, and then from there, he would come in and say, well, maybe you shouldn't be so hard on him, or maybe this is not a time that you would be joking around, or then he would kind of fine tune what you were doing. And I appreciated that because I don't like being mapped out exactly how I have to go through my whole process. So it was a cool experience working with him. It could have been my high school. So when I knew everything. It was like when I saw the script, I knew every kind of person, all the characters I knew. I knew people just like Chandler, just like Taylor. I knew someone just like Lainey.
It totally reminded me of like this really 80s style film, you know, like Pretty in Pink and like 16 Candles, which, you know, growing up I loved. They were like my favorite movies, you know what I mean? And it's just a really sweet love story. You know?
Like in high school, so much is based on who you are physically and how much money you have and stuff like that. And that never seems to get old. It seems to always be the case. And I think it's nice that you know, that this movie's sort of, you know, trying to find a way around it and going, this isn't good. You know, this shouldn't be the case. And other people are worthwhile. And it's, you know, it's about that. It's about who a person is, and it's about human beings. And
and I'm one of the popular girls who kind of defects and joins ranks with our My Fair Lady type of character, who's Rachel Lee Cook, who's been made over in hopes of becoming a prom queen. And I kind of defect from my popular clique, and I join ranks with Lainey and try to help her become popular. And I'm basically like the conscience of the movie. She has a lot of funny things to say, and you'd like to kind of like sit back and laugh, but you kind of know that in real life, those are the girls who, you know, get the guys. Those are the girls who get the job. Those are the girls who push their way to the front of the line. And it's kind of nice to see, you know, the girl from at the back of the, you know, the back of the class who wasn't first picked on teams, kind of, you know, being brought up to the forefront.
Microphone, pull back this way, right there, and then hopefully he'll
Background action. Action.
So this is what you ladies are gonna do all day?
Action.
So this is what you ladies gonna do all day?
No. In 15 minutes, I have every intention.
I don't know where any wedges are. Someone's got to run full set. Yeah, just easy. Okay, here we go.
We never play.
Washington, Jefferson, and Lincoln. His face appears on South Dakota's Mount Rushmore.
Who is President Rushmore?
Roosevelt. All right, that's right. Now you select again.
To cinema for 300?
Here's the clue. This 1961 Elia Kazan film marked Warren Beatty's screen debut.
What is shampoo?
What is Splendor in the Grass?
That's correct.
I'll take Famous District.
You know, I drank that stuff once. Just a little, by accident. I was 2.
Mark. Background action. Camera. Action.
So, Zach, can I get you something to drink?
Yeah, sure. What do you got?
Let me check.
Cut. Ready? Action.
Morning. Morning, lady.
Action.
You sure this is margarita?
Yep. Gentlemen, may I present the new, not improved, but different Laney box.
And then I'm going to tilt to that foot, and then the other foot will come down. And then I'll let it go with that foot. That's okay. We'll make the sharp.
You know what, Nick? Nominate. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go on, and action. that car.